Welcome to ISE 2023 in lovely but chilly Barcelona. This is Rich Fregosa, Uncle Richie for AVNation.tv. We're here at the AVNation studio today. I'm here with Nia Celestin, who is the head of marketing of DTEN. Nia, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So we were talking a little bit before we were recording. You've been on a bit of a whirlwind. You have been doing the trade show circuit leading up to this point to Barcelona. Yeah. I know you got in on Sunday and it's been hitting the ground running.
It has.
I had the fortune of being here this summer, and with the summer, it was the postponement of the 22. It was supposed to be in January, and then we came to summer. And when the show opened up, a lot of my interviews, we centered around, we just didn't know what it was going to look like when the show opened. We're recording right now day 2 of the show. You've had a chance to be at your booth, had a chance to see everybody coming in. What's it felt like being on the trade show floor?
Honestly, it's felt normal. It's normal again. So the traffic was there, the folks were there, people were, high-fiving people they haven't seen in a while, lots of hugging going on, and how are you, and how have you been? So it's just been delightful.
It's interesting, we had conversations where, we were remote and everybody, like people were hugging and getting the chance to be within one another's space. And, for me, it wound up being a reminder that although this is a technology show and everything is based around the equipment and the technology, these companies are still built of people, and we're passionate about what we do, or else we wouldn't find it. And sometimes we find our way accidentally here, sometimes we find our way, it's absolutely the path. And so I've been finding myself asking that question, which was, how did you get here? Like, how did you wind your way through to this position here?
At DTEN?
Uh-huh.
Sure. I chose to go to DTEN because of our CEO, Wei Lu. He's truly a visionary in this space, a visionary in terms of our product innovations, but also in terms of the company he's choosing to build and the culture he's choosing to build inside of his company. It's the best place I've ever been. It's the best job I've ever had, and I feel blessed to be there.
Well, now with the head of marketing, what are you finding? Again, we're coming out of COVID. We've got all of the different kind of vistas that we're at, we're using the word meeting equity. We're using, there are different ways of being in the space, and as a technology company, obviously we're not at the trade show floor, so we're not necessarily looking at each of the little gadgets that are there, but just kind of on the overview. And since, part of that is, the vision for where the company is going to go and what you've seen, through the hybrid experience and now moving ahead, where do you see the company positioning itself in the technology and this vision in terms of the message going forward?
Sure, we really focused on collaboration equity and building a culture of collaboration for our customers, because it's so much more than just joining a video call.
Right.
There's more to it than that, and it's really about making sure that people, regardless of where they are, have a sense of belonging. And that sense of belonging is just critical to team productivity, to creativity, to job satisfaction, to overall employee health and well-being. So we really focused on that. And our product roadmap, for example, is a reflection of that reality. So our technology is really built to promote equity, to give people, for example, equal real estate on the screen, to make sure that if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're still being captured. You're not getting cut off, you're not getting pixelated, you're in portrait mode, you're front and center. You have an equal opportunity to participate in the meeting and to be part of a team and to be engaged and involved. And that's been something we've really focused on the past couple of years. And all of our technology is really emphasizing that and showing that.
You mentioned 2 parts. You talk about the collaboration. We've got the technology. We can get into the technology side in a sec, but I know that collaboration has been, we had a chance to chat before we started, that partnerships, because it is not only an isolated world anymore. You're having to work with so many of the UC partners that are out there. Talk a little bit about your partnerships.
Oh, sure. In the past couple of years, DTEN has really expanded our partnerships. We've expanded into our channel network. So we've added on hundreds of new partners, resellers, into our community, and we've been thrilled and excited about that. We've also got and gained additional technology partners. So right here at the show, for the first time, we're showing Microsoft Teams Rooms on a D10 device. So we had previously just really been a Zoom shop,
Right.
and now we've opened up our solutions to Microsoft Teams users, and we're really thrilled about that because we want to make sure that anybody who wants to have a D10 experience gets access to the D10 technology. And our partnership with Microsoft simply is going to open that up so that every Teams user can actually have the best Teams experience.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about, if we're going to get into kind of the nuts and bolts side of things, when using the D10 product, and what can your users expect in a real world application and the end case and the user case? What are some of the applications that you were talking about your roadmap that you were focusing on in terms of meeting the demands of the new workplace?
Oh, sure. One of the things that happens sort of in the hybrid workspace, where some people are in the office and some people are at home, is that oftentimes when you're in a conference room and you're sort of on the edge or the sidelines of that conference room, in the meeting, in the video call, you're sort of kind of really sidelined,
Right.
Literally sidelined, because the camera can't capture you. And when it does capture you, it can be very pixelated and distorted because you're on the edge. So we are announcing at this show this year D10 View and D10 View Pro, which are our new cameras that attach to our video conferencing devices that really give you a more panoramic view of the room so that every single person in the space can be seen very clearly in sharp and crisp images. And that's really important, and it ties right into that idea of equity too. It's really important for somebody who's sort of sitting there, sort of on the sidelines, to not feel left out in a virtual meeting. So our technology is really designed to bring people in. We also have a new technology called Inclusive View, which is on our smaller device for smaller personal spaces and huddle rooms that really does the same thing. It's, you and I are talking right now. If you and I were sitting around a circular table, for example, and there was a video conferencing screen in front of us, they would see us in profile because we're talking to each other right now.
Right.
So the screen would just see me this way. But the reality is that the conversation we're having is face to face.
Correct.
Eye to eye, we're connecting.
Right.
And the remote participant is being excluded from that experience. So Inclusive View technology really reframes us for that end user and moves us from a side view right into a front view. So now they're seeing us as if they too were looking directly at us in the room. Things like that really change the game in the conference room, change the remote experience, and do create that sense of team, and we're in this together, and we're all equally sharing in the experience.
Well, again, moving the technology forward to meet those use cases. Well, great. Well, obviously, the best place to see this technology would be the show floor, but unfortunately, some of our viewers aren't going to be able to make it to Barcelona. So, if they did want to find out more about D10, how can they find it?
The best place to go is d10.com. You can click on Contact Us. You can fill out a form there, tell us what you're interested in, what your issues are, what you want to learn more about, and we'll get right back in touch with you.
Well, fantastic. Well, if you want to find out more about D10, you can find their information on their website. If you want to find out more about our coverage of ISE 2023 here in Barcelona, you can find it on our website at AVNation.tv. This is Rich Fregosa, Uncle Richie for AVNation.tv.